If you thought January was for laying low and catching your breath after last year's chaos, yeah, no, think again. We're going over everything we got and have yet to get this month. And it's definitely more than I thought it was gonna be. This month gives us workplace tension, fantasy escapism, mature love stories, and more than one BL that said, yeah, this one's gonna hurt. January's BL lineup has opinions. Hey, I'm Blush. If you're new here, we talk new releases, pairings, industry moments, and whatever the fandom is currently losing its mind over. This video is our monthly releases rundown where things are a little more tame. I like posting these mid-month so you're not waiting forever to finally watch something that I'm talking about. So everything in this video is either already out this month or is coming out very soon. I'm a sucker for a little instant gratification, and honestly, I know you are too. You know what ruins that though? When you click on a BL and get hit with the not available in your region. Ugh. That's why I use NordVPN for some of these releases that be plain hide and seek. Basically, you can change the virtual location of your internet to any of these countries and you get served content like a local. I pay for it myself and use it all the time to make the most of what's out there. I'll leave the link and deal in the pinned comment. I usually don't mention short verticals too often, but this one's on Isekai, which I think most of us already have, so I will. Push and James have been beefing at school forever. Like, genuinely cannot be in the same room without it turning hostile. But when Push takes a rough off-campus job to help support his family and ends up getting harassed by the motorcycle shop owner, his life takes a sharp left turn. He's taken by a local gang leader and told he'll be tutoring his son. No negotiation, no way out. And when Push shows up for one day, he realizes the son he's supposed to tutor is James, the exact person he spent years clashing with. Out of sheer stubbornness and maybe a little pride, Push sticks it out, not realizing that being forced this close is starting to blur the lines between hatred and something way more dangerous. Now, we'll say this is going to be one of those not actually serious danger ones, but more unserious ones. Anyways, this has a 52-minute episodes, again on Isekai. Isekai Office Worker. The Other World's books depend on the bean counter. We usually don't talk about anime that much here either, but any anime lovers, because we are getting a new Isekai BL. Seichiro is a burnt-out salaryman pushing 30 who somehow gets dragged into a holy summoning ritual and dropped straight into another world, the Romani Kingdom. Instead of panicking like a normal person, he does what he knows best, immediately asks for a job. That lands him an accounting role in the Royal Accounting Department where he throws himself into work the same way he always has. Somewhere along the way, he finds a mysterious tonic that completely wipes out his exhaustion and long-standing health issues, and for the first time in years, he actually feels good. Unfortunately, the magic keeping him functional is also slowly killing him. With no natural resistance to this world's magic, Seichiro only has one option if he wants to survive. He needs someone powerful to help his body adapt. That's how he ends up placing his life in the hands of Arish, the cold, intimidating captain of the Third Royal Order, better known as the Ice Prince. And from there, things stop being strictly professional. I usually have a Crunchyroll subscription on and off throughout the year, and I may just have to reactivate it for this one. On January 6th, we got what seems like an indie project from South Korea. It's quite short, but at least it's on YouTube for free. Something you can watch on a 20-minute bus ride, you know? Synopsis-wise, all I have is an unexpected incident strikes just as Alt and Ian are dreaming of a happy first anniversary. That's it, so catch that one on True Film's YouTube channel. Heart Knights is a mature Thai BL, and it's very much not here for high school crushes or fluffy escapism. This one is quiet, heavy, and painfully human. The story centers on An, a 54-year-old former comic artist who's been in a long-term relationship with his boyfriend, Jira, for nearly 7 years. On the surface, they're comfortable, settled, familiar, domestic. But somewhere along the way, the comfort starts to feel less like safety and more like something fragile. Little tensions go unspoken, doubt creeps in, and An finds himself laying awake at night, unable to sleep, weighed down by the realization that even long-lasting love isn't immune to uncertainty. Heart Knights focuses on what queer love looks like later in life, when fear of loss, aging, and the desire to still be chosen all exist at the same time. It's reflective, grounded, and quietly devastating in the way only real relationships can be. This is only available on Thai PBS, which you can access for free, but the only thing is there are no subtitles. Countdown to Yes is a Japanese BL that Gago Lala did pick up for us international viewers. The series is a live adaptation of popular BL manga, bringing a slow burn, realism-focused love story to the screen. The series leans heavily into emotional restraint and quiet tension, focusing on timing, fear, and the weight of choosing whether to confess or walk away. The countdown in the title reflects the structure of the story itself, a limited window where a single decision will determine whether their bond evolves into something more or fractures completely. If you're enjoying these monthly BL rundowns and want to support the channel a little more, memberships are open. You get early access to videos, a loyalty badge appears next to your name and comments, and the badge actually changes the longer you stick around. It's basically like a visual timeline of how long you've been here, like proof that you've seen a lot with me. That being said, are you okay? Jokes aside, memberships genuinely help me keep doing this consistently without burning out. So thank you, channel members. I see you trickling in. And if you want to join, hit that join button below. So D-Hup, a production studio involved in series like Jack and Joker, is loving the vertical shorts and announced a bunch for their 2026 projects. And because it's on their YouTube and easier to access, I will let you guys know. January 12th, we got Screen Together. The story follows Sun, a calm, mature, and quietly charming man who carries himself like a true gentleman. And Moan, a sweet-faced, stylish guy who appears aloof at first but is actually shy and adorably clumsy. As their paths cross, Sun's steady warmth begins to draw Moan out of his shell. The Boyfriend is back for Season 2. This is Netflix's Japanese gay reality dating series. After how unexpectedly big the first season became, Season 2 once again follows a group of men living together, navigating attraction, vulnerability, and whether real emotional compatibility can exist when you're sharing space and feelings under the same roof. Instead of chaos and forced drama, the show leans into long conversations, quiet moments, and the kind of emotional honesty that's uncomfortable but very real. And just like Season 1, the focus isn't about winning or pairing off fast. It's about how queer men communicate, how emotional maturity shows up differently with age, and what it really means to put your heart on the line when everyone's watching. Cosmic Playlover is back for Season 2. Season 1 was all about friction, Sahashi and Natsume starting out as co-workers who barely tolerate each other, locked in a power struggle filled with sharp words, buried secrets, and unresolved tension, but the romance eventually builds slowly through conflict and vulnerability and the push and pull of the two people who don't know how to communicate. And then Season 2 shifts the focus from them getting together to staying together. With their relationship established, the stakes become quieter but heavier. Careers, family, expectations, distance, and the pressure of real adult life. Instead of tension, the drama comes from commitment and whether love can hold up once the fantasy fades. Both seasons are on Gago Lala. Love Truck is another short from D-Hop House. The story follows Tai, a calm and dependable engineer who's warm, sincere, and the type to love wholeheartedly. And Lang, a shy, glasses-wearing overthinker who struggles with confidence and relies on AI to answer just about everything in life, turning an unlikely pairing into a gentle, modern romance shaped by trust, reassurance, and learning how to lean on another person. Again, these are all free on YouTube. I just know the first cow fandom has been waiting forever to see our cats back on screen with more cats. It's been over a year since the Heart Killers, and now they're back with Cat for Cash. This is going to be adorable, I can already feel it. GMMTV brings us romance, comedy, and a little supernatural chaos, all centered around a cat cafe, because why not? The story follows Tiger, a soft-hearted debt collector who just happens to love cats. After the owner of a local cat cafe passes away, Tiger unexpectedly inherits her ability to communicate with cats. Yes, actually talk to them. And that power immediately pulls him into unfinished business surrounding the cafe. Enter Lynx, the cafe owner's estranged son, and he's ready to sell the cafe and move on with his life. The problem? Tiger keeps getting in the way, partly because of the cats, partly because of unresolved family tension, and partly because something between them starts to shift. As Tiger and Lynx are forced into each other's orbit, Cat for Cash explores grief, family reconciliation, and how pets quietly shape human connection, all while building a slow burn romance that feels equal parts tender and chaotic. Very much powered by feelings and cats. I'm gonna assume if you're outside Thailand, you can probably watch this on YouTube. However, GMMTV seems to be experimenting with a new Thailand-based app called True Visions, so it may be region-locked on YouTube for regions that streaming platform is able to cater to. From the creators of Suntiny, Peach Lover premieres January 20th on iQIYI. After a year away, Peach Lover, the famous elusive creator behind a wildly popular adult account, suddenly reappears online, instantly setting fandom hearts racing. For Poe, a longtime admirer who's been quietly devoted for years, the timing feels unreal. This comeback comes with a surprise announcement. Peach Lover is searching for a brand new partner to work with, someone fresh, compatible, and willing to step into the spotlight alongside with him. Poe doesn't hesitate. He applies immediately, finally getting a chance to meet the person he's admired from a distance for so long. But things don't unfold the way either of them expects. Instead of jumping straight into working together, the two end up spending time getting to know each other off camera. Conversations replace expectations, and emotional closeness starts to build faster than anything professional ever could. As boundaries blur and feelings deepen, the question becomes unavoidable. Is this just a working partnership that never quite launches, or something much more real that neither of them planned for? The series is based on a novel by the same name, and safe to say it will have an 18+ rating. Depop again on the 26th with Influ Lover. Why did I read it as Influenza Lover? It's definitely supposed to be influencer and lover combined. Don't listen to me. The story follows Jed, a charming, outgoing guy who thrives on social energy, and Focus, a quiet, peace-loving recent graduate trying to figure out his next step in life. While Focus earns money through live streaming product reviews, his calm, introverted world slowly collides with Jed's playful, people-loving nature. As the two grow closer, their differences begin to balance each other, turning an unlikely connection into something deeper. Y'all, I'm so excited for this one because I fell in love with these two freaking cuties, Poor and TT, in your sky. I also love that they challenge the whole there doesn't need to be a top and bottom shenanigans, which we see all the time in the BL world. Everyone gets so obsessed over who's the top and who's the bottom. Like, guys, it doesn't really matter. Anyways, that's what they advocate for all the time, even though they keep getting flack for it from their own fans. Anyway, Domundi is closing out January with Duang With You. Duang is a very well-liked interior design student who's been quietly crushing on Shin, a popular but famously cold music major. Talking to him is already intimidating enough, so when Duang finally works up the nerve to confess, it doesn't exactly go the way he'd hoped. Still, Duang isn't the type to give up easily. Instead of waiting around for a clear rejection, he makes it known that he's going to keep trying. Openly, honestly, and on his own terms. Things start to shift when a lecturer unexpectedly pairs the two of them for a stage performance. Forced to spend time together, Shin slowly begins to see a different side of Duang. And what started as distance and indifference turns into something a lot harder to ignore. And we have a healthy 12 episodes. Catch this one on iQIYI. Anyway, my entire feed on every social media platform is full of me and the finale episode edits and stats, and I just need to get to that. Also, they just casually announced there will be a special called Peach and Me. Not special episode, special series? Hello? I get it, the hype was way too big to not continue spinning off of it. And by the way, I made a whole video on me and the going over all the insanity and perhaps it being GMMTV's biggest series ever, like in the history of GMMTV. So go check that out if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one.